perfect first sound. Hello, listening audience. Hello, guys, girls, and all other people. Fuck, I fucked up my intro. Anyway, hi. Welcome to Toonkind at 12 FPS. This is the third time we've tried recording this stuff. I am very normal. Uh, and I am joined by a dear and equally very normal friend, who I love so very much, and is being very kind to me. Say hello.
Hey guys, it's your bitch, Baffle, and I'm looking for this very normal other person that you're talking about because I'm not normal at all. I don't know who is this? Who's the normal? Who's the normaler among us? You sure shit ain't me.
There is one imposter among us. Or however the fuck that damn game works. Anyway, hi. This is the third time we are recording this FPS. Uh,
Communication is key.
Yay! Anyway,
Yeah.
let's take this from the top. Heads up for our audience. This is taking place in the immediate aftermath of an event called Slay the Memory. Slay the Memory is an off screen event that, as of yet, has no adaptation available to the public. We are working on it, but I don't know how long that'll take. It is very similar to Turnabout Jump Scare in that regard, in that it is in active progress, but it is not presently available. Um, and this will also contain spoilers for the general lore and plot lines of both characters involved, um, from Babel's character Paz to my character Memoir, both of whom have some shit going on.
If
Well,
you know, you know.
yeah, if you know, you know. Um, Memoir in particular no longer has as much shit going on because he's no longer falling apart. He kind of fell apart in a major way, and then, in the words of RJ the Beloved, uh, got brought to Build-A-Bird, brought all of his friends on a trip to Build-A-Bird, got put back together, and now is here. Is here and is very functional. And he is.
OG Fox, go
Hmm?
boom, then become new Fox.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't realize you were still talking about Bird. Go.
No, it's okay. The reason I said huh is because you cut out.
Oh. OG Fox go boom, become new Fox. There you go.
Yeah, one went boom, the other went crack, and then both of them, not at the same time, got uh remade into new thing. Paz a little bit more
Good God,
completely than Memoir. Memoir, you know, the joke answer is that Memoir has already used up his name change tokens, uh, and therefore can't have another one. Already used it up transing his gender, but anyhow, in coming out of Slay the Memory, Memoir was found in the woods by the well, um, by dear and beloved friend, Phasma's Vale, the wonderful pocket ghost, um, and kinda crashed at the Ghost Host Cafe for a hot minute because everything happens so much and redesigns are exhausting. Um, and is now on his way to somewhere else. Um, where that somewhere else is, he has yet to inform me. So that'll be a fun surprise for us later. Um, but on his way to that somewhere else, he spots the location where uh Paz is currently staying and remembers receiving some kind of message in the aftermath of Slay the Memory informing him to come and visit. And he decides, yeah, sure, we can do that now. Why not? Um, which is how uh Paz's day is interrupted by a knock on the window panes. Because nobody in this house enters rooms like a normal person.
And Paz, forever used to this at this point, um, just kind of stretches its foot and just nudges the window open.
Mm-hmm.
Stretch them beans, open that window.
And Memoir hops out of the way of the window as it kind of swings out and open. And then leans on the window frame and um knock knock.
Ah, well, you are not Corvettes.
Sorry to disappoint.
Not really a disappointment. Come on in.
Uh and he will kind of take that invitation and hop up and into the window with a little bit of a flutter of his wings, which not fully comfortable because those still need to be taken care of, but he'll do that later. Um, Hops in, keeps one hand on the windowsill, looks at Paz. Do you want this open or closed?
Mm, keep it open. The breeze is nice.
Fair enough. He, if you can say anything about Halloween Town, it does smell pretty nice. And he
It
does kind of
does.
step to the side and lean against the wall.
If you ask me, it can be a little too sweet at times.
Eh, better than the alternative, right?
It depends on who you ask. I am a scavenger.
Ah, you're right. Forgive me my lack of culture. And he does, do the dramatic half bow in apology.
Culture? What culture? We're all swine here.
Excuse you, I am a bird. We've been over this several times.
And I a fox. Who knew?
Well, then, in that case, I have yet to see these so called swine you speak of. There's a contradiction in your statement. Mix. He does pause because he isn't sure. So, his perspective on most things that he knows from Paz, because the two haven't actually managed to talk in quite a while, um, comes from certain other memories that were shared, and that's not a direct translation. So he has a vague notion that the name might be different, but he wants to let Paz be the one to choose whether or not to mention that.
And Paz takes a moment because, oh, right. The last time that the two of them actually talked was before Gibbs exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Well before, even.
Yeah, it was a fair bit.
And it takes a moment to register that. And let me see what I can do. Okay. Wanna roll me an insight?
I am so good at insights. I have a plus
Um,
12 to insight.
okay.
That's a 25. Give me your secrets.
Well, I'm gonna post this in the thing because I think you should know just how barely you beat this. Give me just a moment. You beat it by one.
Lawyerly ways strike again. By which I
First thing,
mean multi-classing into rogue.
by base, Paz is a rogue. So, rogue on rogue violence, you get seen, bitch.
Memoir is a
Um,
sorcerer rogue hybrid because I got permission from Hex and I wanted to catch up with the rest of y'all with bullshit modifiers.
woo! Um, First thing Memoir notices is that, oh, Paz is so much harder to fucking read than Gibbs. What the fuck? Second thing he notices is that when the realization dawns of when the last time that they spoke was, there's several emotions. Some of them are hard to name, but the last one being just quiet acceptance.
I hate that. 1 second. People are talking in the hallway again.
No problem. I will continue while that is going, because there is more. I pat you so gentle. Quiet acceptance, and it takes a while longer to respond, but when it does, it's ah right. I forgot our last conversation was a good while before with my predecessor.
Hmm. Two, very different us's.
Hmm. I apologize that on Gibbs's behalf that he didn't get to say goodbye.
It's alright. And he kinda waves a hand loosely and says, it's not exactly a situation that allowed for everything to be wrapped up in a neat, tidy bow, then was it?
No.
Besides, you don't have to apologize on the behalf of a person you're not.
Well, how are you doing?
Eh, alive, exhausted. Uh, Definitely need to catch up on some personal maintenance to say the very bare minimum, but alive. And I wasn't sure that was going to be the case for a hot minute there, so I owe you a lot of fair bit of thanks.
Always happy to have you be alive. We like living.
We do like living. It can be a messy, finicky bitch sometime, but we do like living.
That's definitely a pair of words for it. But it is the others that you should be thanking.
Nah. I mean, yeah, I owe them thanks too, but uh, he kind of tilts his head. No offense, you ain't slick. You're not getting out of that easy.
Hmm. The only thing I can recall doing is pissing the others off. I don't see that as helpful.
And yet, I still wouldn't be here if it weren't for your actions. When I fell apart, I
It
reached
looks
for
like it.
the. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. It looks like it wants to say something, but it is decidedly not.
Mm-hmm. And Memoir kind of. He doesn't cross his arms, but he does kind of like put his hands in his pockets and lean his head back against the wall. I fell apart and I needed people to hold on to. Things that were familiar, things that I could anchor myself with. I didn't go grabbing willy nilly. I went for perspectives that the perspectives I needed. You were one of them. And so you had just as much a part to play as everybody else. I wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there.
There's like math going on in its head and it's not adding up to it. But again, keeping its trap shut.
And he kind of shrugs and says, I don't know, believe me or don't. I'm not exactly at the top of my game to be making arguments right now.
I would prefer not to argue. I've had quite enough of that.
Well, then, he kind of makes a loose gesture with his hands and one of his wings of just kind of like scrunching up a invisible piece of paper and tossing it aside.
I know that you're making movements. I do not see them.
Oh.
And its eyes are wide open.
He kind of blinks and says, Oh, vision impairment?
Entirely blind.
Oh, all right. I can work with that. Because Paz isn't exactly Memoir's first experience with somebody who, is blind. Memoir's dad is blind. Hmm. He just kind of like shifts a couple things in his head of just like, okay, switch to using these particular forms of accommodation. And he kind of says, uh, I was gesturing of a sort of, crumple up the paper and throw it away. Change the topic.
ah, uh,
You didn't answer my question. Oh, I guess I didn't ever ask a question directly. What would you like me to call you?
Oh, fuck. Right. Uh, the full name is a mouthful. Just Paz is fine.
Pez. That's a nice one. Pleased to meet you. Well, meet you properly. Without the kind of gestures like the gesture that people make for crazy, where they spin their finger next to their temple and he says that that's what he's doing. This is, you know, brain fuckery.
You mean Gibbs being
What? No.
nuts? I and it is tilting its head like it is not understanding.
I mean, I technically met you in a sense because you were part of you in. Ugh. Terminology is complicated.
Oh, oh, I understand. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
I,
Situation's confusing. I should have been more specific. Brain fuckery can mean a lot of things in this family, which is, a nightmare.
I don't think there's a single person in Halloween Town who doesn't have at least something a little bit wrong with them.
Well, shit, you got me there.
Mm, and it is stretching.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound as old as it did.
Yeah. Memoir will make note of that and kinda internally note that that seems like at least a small bit of improvement.
And as it does, it is going to not stand, but it is going to sit up where it had been laying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hey Memoir.
Hmm.
Hey Memoir.
Yeah?
Fucking 8'6" fox.
Today's 5'5" ass.
It's about 3 times almost as much as Gibbs was. Pause massive.
Memoir does just kind of make a slightly surprised hum at that of just, wow, what they've been feeding you.
I get actual food from Jacques and Asclepius. Corvids tries his best to feed me mostly sweets.
Huh. Well, I gotta admit, I'm envious of, I'm envious of the growth spurt. I got 5 inches and nothing more. Kind of jokes. As he, makes a gesture at the top of his head versus basically probably at Paz's shoulder, even though Paz is sitting down. He mentions as much.
Am I really that much larger than Gibbs?
About 3 times.
I guess I should have guessed. I've never hit the door before, but I did at least a few times when I first got here. Didn't think I'd go face first into a door.
Well, don't bonkus your conkus too hard. Take it from experience. That doesn't go well.
I've already had the experience. You know how much rattled around in Gibbs's head?
I know a bit. He kind of laughs.
apologies. It's for the the awkwardness. I haven't really been much for conversation
It's not
with
awkward.
anyone.
It's not awkward. It's just new. New is never easy. But,
I don't remember being this hard.
well, it's, at least in my experience, it doesn't tend to get easier. But, much of a pain in the ass as it can be, it's always worth doing.
Mm.
It is nice to see you again. Or nice to meet you. This version of you and this version of me.
I agree. Do you still go by Memoir?
Yeah, I picked that name myself. I'm not letting go of it too easy. I'm still Memoir Alejo. I'm just. Ugh. And he kind of grimaces and, does the so gesture and just. I'm wobbling my hand so style. It's. You remember what a bubble looks like?
I'm not quite sure I understand where this is going, but I do understand the concept that you are, in fact, different. But if you wish to explain, go ahead. I'm curious. Goes.
Memoir kind of laughs at that and says, so before it was everything that made me me was a bunch of dust on the surface of the same swirly, shifty, soap bubble ass bullshit. And then when the fuckery with Thrall happened, there was more and more and more air that got put into that bubble until this particular bout of fuckery happened and the bubble popped. And now all of that me doesn't have quite so much empty space between it. It's a lot more concentrated. If that makes any sense.
Child?
Huh?
it it is trying to understand. It understands the basic concept, but child, what?
Benmar kind of laughs. It's, not exactly easy to explain.
I don't think anything with the two of us is easy to explain.
Well, you got me there.
It's almost like becoming different people is hard.
Yeah. Identity shit ain't never easy. I am learning that the tricky way. But, like I said, Shit that ain't easy is also, most of the time, worth it. Otherwise, we'd give up on it halfway through.
I wish I had the lack of fucks to give that Gibbs did, at the very least, but unfortunately I don't. Or was it lack of intelligence? Both? Unsure.
I'm not at liberty to comment. My perspective on that matter is hazy.
And so is my memory.
Cheers, I'll drink to that. Or I would if I had a drink.
I could ask.
Nah, it's alright. Don't trouble yourself.
I'm not going to lie, I believe I misheard. Did you say trouble or shower?
Trouble, dear. I said trouble.
Okay.
Sorry, still getting used to the new kind of gestures at himself. And the voice thing. It's been like this since I woke up. I definitely didn't sound like this before. I sounded a bunch of different ways before, but I didn't sound like this before.
How. Hmm. It's thinking for a good moment, and it actually does a kind of like pouty think face because it's not sure how to word.
Oh,
That's one thing that it kept from Gibbs apparently is that words hard.
words pecking
it
hard.
has it has it is so much more literate and it has access to a higher vocabulary. That does not mean that stringing words together is any easier.
Memoir won't like rush it. He'll let it take its time with the figuring out how to words. He gets the idea of words being hard.
That's if by the time that it is able to string words together properly, it remembers what the fuck it was gonna ask. Spoiler alert, it doesn't, and it just shakes its head and gets up. And over near the door to the room is like a mini tea thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it pours some tea in there in 2 cups and hands Memoir one.
He will accept that. He doesn't immediately drink any of it because I'm so sorry. My boy is being very careful with uh everything that he puts in his body at this point. Um and he does
I mean, it's not gonna notice, so
yeah. He does kind of tap a finger against the side of the cup, and thankfully because of like the way that he's structured now, it doesn't clink as distinctly as it used to. Um because it's not solid ceramic, but um he is kind of trying to subtly cast the spell detect poison or detect poisons and disease. Um it is nothing against Paz, it is a habit.
It doesn't care either way,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna bother rolling perception because even if it did notice, it doesn't care.
Mhm. Yeah. But when nothing pops up poison, he will like take a small sip of tea at the very least just to be polite.
It's peppermint mostly.
Hang on, I have to Google
And I
something.
say most of like pumpkin spice in there. How?
I'm checking something. Just a moment.
Ah,
Ah, so fun thing about peppermint. Peppermint repels birds.
oh,
And there's just a bit of
oh no.
there's just a bit of a scrunch. He will he will kind of subtly set that off to the side of just nope.
I think that it will notice and just be like, "Is something wrong?"
Ah, mint. He kind of laughs a bit at it because he recognizes how silly he sounds and just sorry. Appreciate the hospitality. The mint's just bird bird tongue. Not good with mint.
Oh, noted.
It's not your fault. It's not exactly common knowledge. Don't worry about it. Here. He kind of snaps his fingers. And I need to roll hammer space. That's a one. That's a fumble. What do you get? He like snaps his fingers trying to get something out of hammer space. And then blinks as a blown glass teacup falls into one of his hands, and he's just like, okay, well, that's helpful, but no. Tries again.
Paz is listening intently and it's just like, "Please fumble, please fumble, please fumble."
God, what is the thing on a fumble for the second? Is it like below a five? Because that was a four.
I think so, yeah. I think you have to get above a 5.
Okay, so that's another fumble. This time, um, it's a bit of you know what? This time it's a red poppy flower. And he kind of frowns and says, "That's not it either. Okay, you go in there." And he puts the poppy flower in the bottom of the teacup.
um, it got a 15 in deception when I rolled, so like it's not doing a very good job of hiding it, but there's a smile behind it taking a sip of its tea.
Okay, third time the charm because he got a five there. He manages to pull out a um. It looks like a well, Paz wouldn't be able to see it, but for the audience and for Babel, it looks like a thermos, but it's made of glass. Um, and he kind of unscrews that. It makes a bit of a squeaky noise as he does. Uh, and pours himself a cup of tea over the flour that he put in there because why not? Drink your flowers, kids. Um, so maybe don't drink your flowers in this case because that's a red poppy. Don't worry about it. Memoir's built up an immunity An
Memoir's built
immunity.
different.
Memoir's built up an immunity.
Mem-
Don't try this at home.
Memoir's built different. Get wrecked.
Memoir has built an immunity to sedatives by being surrounded by a field of poppies for months on end. Um, because these are Toon red poppies, and the thing about Toon red poppies is that they make people sleepy.
Mm.
But he will pour himself a cup of tea. Um, does Paz have a good sense of smell?
An unfortunately good sense of smell.
Cool. So the stuff that Memoir pours into his cup is um kind of herbal and grassy in its scent. Um a little bit like herbal, earthy, grassy, very bright in a way. Cuz what he's poured is mate. Um which is one of my favorite teas. Um and he puts the um puts the not quite a thermos back away in Hammer's space and takes a sip of his tea, partially to wash out the taste of peppermint. Um, and does make a little bit of a happy hum at the taste of it. Just there we go. The poppy adds an odd taste, but eh, I've gotten used to that being the overlay on damn near anything I'd eat or drink lately.
You're just shoving a handful of poppies in your mouth.
He laughs at that. No, no, I fumbled a poppy flower out of my hammer space, so I put that in the bottom of the teacup.
Ah, I knew you fumbled quite a few times. I didn't realize you had fumbled a poppy.
Twice is not quite a few. Twice is twice. He's pouting. He is audibly pouting.
Twice uh, is still more than I've seen happen from
I'm usually better with hammer space.
you. I'm sorry, it seems that I'm a bad luck charm.
Well, as long as it doesn't happen in court. Last thing
No
I need
promises.
Last thing I need is to be pulling out Toon poppies during when I'm trying to present evidence. Like, yeah, no, that's definitely gonna help my reputation. Go missing for several months and then come back with fucking poppies everywhere.
Honestly, that sounds a bit entertaining. But my taste in what is entertaining and drinks, and it's looking at its teacup, seems to be vastly different than the rest of Halloween Town now.
Yeah, it happens. It's almost like variety is the spice of life, or something like that.
Some bullshit, sure.
Some meaningless platitude. Sorry it took me this long to get my head together. I wanted to visit after everything happened, but
God forbid you be mentally ill.
eh, that's a word for it.
Roundabout way of saying, I'm just happy that you've taken care of yourself.
Oh, maybe hold the judgment on that. I really gotta pulled myself together proper. Like, Phasmus was the one who was taking care of me yesterday. Got me, got me out of the woods, got me home, made me sit down and eat something, bonked me over the head for it several times. Eh,
So you needed assistance. Better to start late than never.
yeah, that's what the people we love are for, right? We help them, they help us.
What do you plan on doing now? And if you say throw yourself into work, I will sick all of Halloween Town on you. I have no fucks in that regards. No fucks.
Well, you have at least one fox, because you're still sitting here.
I decidedly won't be if you throw yourself back into work immediately.
Not.
I'll be sitting on top of you. I'm 450 pounds. Try me.
Oh god, please don't. My line art still hasn't fully recovered. You would snap me in half. I'm not. I want to go back to work. Not because I'm trying to avoid anything. I miss my job. I miss the work that makes me feel like myself. Can't go back to it yet. Not until. Not until this matter with Thrall is resolved. To tell you the truth, I think that after the stuff with Thrall has been handled, I'll probably be spending some time away from Halloween Town. No offense to it, it's a lovely place and it'll always be my home, but I could use a change of
You get
scenery,
trapped.
some real sunlight. And I miss my dad. So, once,
Sometimes home can feel like a prison if you're staying there too long.
yeah.
I myself will be leaving, at least not, obviously not completely, but not necessarily staying either.
Mm.
Although don't tell him, I sneak out anyways from time to time.
He kind of makes a, you know, zip the lips gesture and says, "You've got my silence. I'm hardly the hardly the person who's gonna stop anyone from chasing their particular freedom. But yeah, once it's no longer once it's no longer gonna put once it's no longer gonna be a risk, which it shouldn't have been in the first place, but stupid lousy motherfucker doesn't play fair. Once it's no longer a risk factor, I'm probably gonna spend some time in Framework Town, help Dad out with the office, and try and get back in the swing of things.
If I can convince Corvitz to leave Halloween Town for longer, I would actually like to take a vacation with
I wish you best of luck in that regard.
him.
But to be fair, really, are you really shocked the pumpkin is putting down roots?
No, and I wouldn't keep him from doing so anyways.
I'm pretty sure he of anyone, from what little I remember at least, would understand the need to have a little bit of a free Roman spirit.
Gibbs roamed because it had to, and it knew nothing else. But it didn't pay attention. I have no memory of the places that it went. I have very little memories of what everything that it did.
Well, that means you have all the more reason to get out and see the world. Or, forgive me, not exactly see.
Yeah,
But
it's lack
experience.
of sight. Wonder whether or not it's really worth it, but
Of course it is. There's more. For pity's sake, we've got 5 full senses for a reason. 6 in my case. If you don't remember what the world out beyond Halloween Town was like, you deserve the chance to get to experience it. I haven't seen
I don't.
much of it myself, but I know that it's a weird and fascinating and beautiful place. Full of multiple weird and fascinating and beautiful smaller places, and admittedly quite a few scary things, but
So is every world, and every person is the same in that regard, being strange and beautiful and maybe scary. Things that make life interesting. I just don't particularly want to see it all alone.
you should tell him that. I find that with this sort of thing, direct is best.
There are things that he wants to do before he leaves. It has been a conversation, though I don't know if anyone else feels this pull to explore.
Well, there's a whole word for it, so I'd assume that it's not too uncommon of an experience.
Hmm.
Wanderlust is a thing. People people don't some people do better within the same 4 walls and familiar streets and familiar places that they've always known. Others others get stifled. I'm lucky in that sense. I've kind of always been moving. Don't think I mean, Halloween Town is my home, but so is Fraymore, and I've gone all over the place in my existence. But you've been here since Well, since everything. There's no harm in wanting to broaden your horizons.
I don't remember it being so painful to stay.
Well, forgive me my speculation, but you said it yourself. Gibbs didn't really pay attention to where he was. You know that there's stuff beyond this place that you haven't experienced and that you want to pull out of the unknown. You want to pay
Gives.
attention.
I do. And that want to pay attention has gotten me in more trouble.
I can't make the right decisions for you. But, maybe wait till we're not in an active war plot. No offense. Seeing any version of you pulled apart once was, more than enough.
Is that what happened?
Approximately. Really wasn't fair. Honestly. If I could take Thrall to court, I'd do so for a lot of things, but one of them would be a fridging case.
Nothing about Gibbs was.
Hmm?
Nothing about Gibbs was ever fair.
Still. They used Gibbs to get to the rest of us. Made it suffer just so that we would get upset. Just to launch an attack on the town. It was bullshit. He kind of blinks and then takes a breath and tries to reel back on that anger. But yeah, that's a bit of a fun change. I don't know how much Paz remembers of Memoir / Lethe. The anger is a lot more quick to flare.
Good to know that you have some fire in you.
Some is an understatement. I'm a few solid pieces of glass holding together quite a lot of fire. It's just a matter of making sure no one else gets burned. Or at the very least, no one who doesn't deserve it.
You hold that much fire in you. It is only a matter of time, but it isn't bad.
Hmm.
And it does hold out a hand. You can burn me, and I'll be fine.
Memoir does kind of hum at that. He will, push off of the wall and step forward and probably, sit down on the edge of the bed and set his hand in Paz's. He does run incredibly warm. Like, Memoir before was warm. Lethe was warm. He's always had this, he's always had an above average physical temperature, but it's like noticeable at this point.
And Paz runs really cold. Oddly comfortably cold, but cold. And with its other hand, it's going to uh, well, its other hand is just kind of out, and then it catches fire, and then the fire disappears, and it starts to frost.
Memoir does watch that with, kind of the curious bird sound.
And water around the hand seems to come towards its palm until it can grip a solid ice cube.
That's a fancy magic trick.
Mm. Ice has always been my anger. When I was much younger, it almost consumed me.
Hmm.
Anger left me lonely. But with Corvettes, I have love. For most people, fire represents anger. But have you ever considered that anger is born from love?
Of course I have. He kind of shakes his head and says, "You misunderstand me. The fire is not just anger, it's everything. It's I am light and fire trapped inside of glass. Or shaping glass from the inside. I don't think trapped is quite the right word. But when that is your nature, you have to take care not to burn or blind the people you love. My When I get angry, it comes from how much I care because I'm not capable of doing anything else. I'm not capable of not caring. I envy people who are capable of apathy because it sounds so much easier. But I
It
burn,
is.
always.
Apathy is perhaps the most damaging thing that you can do to yourself.
And yet there's an inherent value in being able to let things go that I will never ever be able to access.
And that can be the most beautiful thing.
Try living with it. Because
I would say to try, but I would rather you didn't. I miss when I was full of emotion. You misunderstand. Younger me, Grumbles, as he was affectionately called, was full of emotion. Full to the brim. It. He, apathy as a defense did nothing but empty everything. It expends so much energy just to keep it, and then when you want to actually break it, well, apparently it takes an act from a god.
Hmm.
An act from a god that no one really wants to deal with.
No offense, from what I remember of your patron, was kind of a dick.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but they weren't always that way. Not to me, at least. Though, yes, they're very much so an ass now.
I get what you mean. I really do, in terms of. I don't think being fully one way or the other is the answer. I don't want to not care. I don't even hate existing the way I do. It's just painful sometimes. When you can't put things down, when you can't stop caring, no matter what you do, no matter what anyone does, no matter what anyone tells you to try and comfort you or calm you. You can't give anything up. You can't stop caring. You can't stop burning. There is no peace until things are resolved. It's I can't say whether or not it's just as exhausting, but I can tell you it's not easy.
Painful, even.
Yeah. And it brings
I
out the
know.
parts of me that I don't like. Parts of me that are angry and cruel and vengeful. Parts of me that learned how to hate from the very best possible teacher and never quite figured out how to give that up. Up until a certain point, I didn't know what it was to be really angry at someone, to really hate someone, but something happened. I learned. Sent the person who did it to the electric chair, watched her die with a smile on my face. And even now, I don't regret it. Maybe that makes me a bit
Is
of a
that real?
monster.
No. No, it does not. It makes you a person. People are messy. No one is perfect. And you're right, there is in fact a balance. But the answer is not to get rid of emotion. It's learning to live with it. Learning the balance of allowing yourself the space to live with it.
Hard to get space inside your own head.
Perhaps now would be a good time.
Maybe.
Come on.
Hmm?
It's going to stand up and it's going to try and very gently drag him up with it.
He will follow. It is not hard to drag him. Weighs maybe an apple.
Well, there's a few things that haven't changed between Paz and Gibbs, and that's the indescribable amount of gentleness that it can have with those around it.
Mm-hmm.
Where even something as delicate as a finely sculpted ice dandelion or daffodil would be safe in its arms.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not pulling with really any force, but enough to get his attention and the idea that it wants him to follow.
Mm-hmm. And he will follow.
And it's going to lead him out of the out the window, because fuck it, no one's normal in this goddamn.
No one in this goddamn town is normal.
No. And let's see, what are you gonna do? I know you have a thing that was given to you by Corvitz,
Mm-hmm.
but you have another thing. Hmm. I'll have to ask Wiz for more specifications later. And whether or not it does have this, but hold on. Does this work like that? Does the spell work like that? Because that would
Please
be so
hold for
fucking fun.
mechanical difficulties.
I'm sorry. Because if this does work like that, that'd be so fucking funny.
Oh no.
Magically fixed in place. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun thing about Paz being what it is no longer a species that is native to this plane or this world.
Mm-hmm.
It is its native species or a race in this case, and I'm pretty sure I don't think it's in here right now because I did end up breaking the fuck out of its sheet by being gone so long. But I'm
That's
pretty
you.
sure it's got pretty nice jumps,
Mad Hops.
mad hops. Um, so I'm gonna take him under the roof
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to lift you, and I'm going to jump.
Um,
Okay?
okay.
Trust me, it'll be fine.
All right.
And it does exactly that. And when it does, it reaches a pretty decent ass fucking height. Enough that you're pretty sure even an Eldritch Blast wouldn't reach it from here before fizzling out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to cast a movable object on itself. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not an object. Did
You are correct. It is not an object. That's a person.
the thing with that is that the race that it is similar to that of a Moonforged,
Mm-hmm.
which does count as an object. In this case, I'm going to let it slide,
Fair enough.
if you will.
Yeah, sure. I'm not the cops.
In this case, we're going to let this slide. It can count as an object if it so wants to. In this case, it does. Um, and it freezes in air.
Mm-hmm.
You have much pent up anger, right?
I wouldn't exactly call it pent up, but something like that.
Free it.
And I think this. I'm really sorry because this is a really sweet gesture, and I do understand like what you're going for with it. But Memoir does stop at that. And his voice is gentle when he says what he says next, but it is firm in the sense of no, no, it's not that kind of. I get what you mean, but it's not the scream and shout kind of anger.
Mm, I don't believe you do understand what I mean.
The thing that I keep, he kind of like raises a hand in air quotes, locked up. It's not something that I repress because I just don't want to feel it. It's not something that I keep quiet because I don't think it's polite. It's something that I keep away because it's cruel. Because it isn't. I need you to understand. I'm not keeping anything locked away in my head because I don't want to express it. If it were a talking thing, if it were a scream and shout thing, if it were a break a table type of thing, that I know how to let out. That I know how to deal with. The thing that scares me is the idea of the part of me that could scare the people I love. There is a part of me that wants to hurt people, that wants to find the people who make me angry and tear them limb from limb and make them suffer every inch on their way out.
And you think I don't understand that?
I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying that letting it out, in my case, isn't the answer. I'm saying that that is an impulse and a part of me that I keep restrained for very, very good reason. I appreciate the gesture. It's very kind of you, but this is something that gets kept under wraps because if it doesn't, it's far too easy to lose myself. And I'm done with being lost. I'm really
It is
sorry.
just.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it is staring very hard at him. Because that's not what it means. It didn't bring him up here for that.
Mm-hmm.
The intent was very different. Yes, letting out the anger and everything. But it was fully prepared for any kind of outlet that he would need.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it was fully prepared to handle violence.
But even if it's prepared for that, Memoir doesn't want to enact that kind of violence around someone he cares about. That's not the kind of person he is. If he loves someone, he doesn't want them to have to be witness to his worst aspects, and he doesn't want to be the kind of person that lashes out in that kind of cruelty. He has other outlets for it, but the kinds of emotions that make up the thing that got killed in Slay the Memory are not the kinds of things that he wants to bring out around anyone. Are not the kinds of things that he wants to welcome into himself again. They have their place, they have their time. When it is time to bring about justice, that cruelty and efficiency is useful, is important, but not here. Not now. Not so soon after everything. He is they just put Strex in its grave. He is not dragging it back out to reanimate it.
And it's not going to force him. I was going to continue and say, like,
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
staring, you're fine. Um, Staring at him for a while because it had its intentions to try and help, and it knows that he wasn't fully understanding what it meant, but it's not going to explain because it can see that it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to budge him on this one.
It has gotten used to this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to let up on the spell, or however. mm, Okay. Yeah. It's going to let up on the spell and use a cape that it has to gently float down.
Mm-hmm.
I will not force you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. And I do appreciate you trying to help.
Should you need me, you know where to find me.
Of course. Likewise. It really was.
Please come visit.
Hmm?
Please come visit more often.
I'll do my best. He smiles. It really is good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Well, I'm going to go take a nap.
I've got somewhere I need to be. Rest well.
Be safe.
As I said, I'll do my best. And he does give Paz's hand one last squeeze before he pulls away. Mm. Do we want to end it there?
Sure.
All right then. That was fun. Thank you for FPS. Sorry it got a little weighty there at the end. Thank you so much for playing with me though. This was fun.
Thank you for playing with me. I'm sorry that it got weighty whenever Gibbs or Paz wanted to speak. It's been a very long time. I'm out of practice as fuck.
You're all right. You did great. We had a great time. Thank you, ladies, gents, and all other friends. We will see you in the next one. Bye bye, listeners.